love seeing stuff like that. People say the world's gone downhill. It has. I need to go bowling. I'm now realizing a mistake I just made. I left the roof hatches open. Crap. Crappity crap. That's not good, because that means there's gonna be, and I left my driver window open. What the heck was I doing yesterday? Hold on. Is everything over here wet? No. Not really, thankfully. Is everything back here wet? Actually, no, not really. I'm just glad it didn't rain. That seat feels... I can't tell if it's just because my hands are cold or because it's damp. Close. That's a little bit wet right there. Just that one spot. That's actually kind of impressive that it's only that one spot. Good morning, people of internet land. I hope you're all doing well. And another long time no see. Welcome back to a bus vlog. Winter has attempted to arrive. It is currently 46 degrees Fahrenheit outside. And by this afternoon, it will be back in the 80s. So yeah, that's the fun game we're playing right now. The cold showed up-ish. And then likes to play hide and seek with us. I'm recording this, I don't have my Apple Watch, that's another story. Wednesday, November 5th is today. I don't have my Apple Watch because I dropped it and shattered the screen. So yeah, that happened. And then my other analog watch, I was trying to turn the dial thing to change the time because of the time change. And yeah, guess what? The knob fell off. And I couldn't get it to go back on correctly. So I am now watchless. Which is not a huge deal. First world problems, you know. But anyway. So, yeah, later this week it's supposed to get hot again, and then rain this weekend, and then it's going to get cold. It's going to tank the temperature. 171 has been through, I think, a service since the last time I recorded, and they fixed the hood. So, if you remember, I couldn't lift it from the side before because it didn't sit quite correctly. But now it does. Somehow they have rectified that, and so the hood is a lot easier to move up and down, which is very nice. That means I can lift it from right here when I undo the strap instead of having to go back around there to the center. Not that it was a huge issue, but it was just, you know, weird little quality of life things. I have no idea where 99 is. She was subbing at my middle school yesterday, and yeah, I don't know where she is now. You'll notice that, is that her right there? No, that's the wrong strobe pattern. That is a 128 magnet. That's not actually 128. Wait, what bus is that? Oh, it's 98. I saw the 12-9, made me do a double take because that's not the right strobe pattern. It's too fast. Okay. How are we doing? Power steering fluid's fine. Eyeball everything down here. Make sure my brakes didn't deform from my incident yesterday. That's a whole nother story. I'm just getting off the interstate, and 211, I don't know if there was a car in front of her or what happened, but she just slammed on the brakes like as hard as the bus physically could. That coolant needs to be kept an eye on. But yeah, so 121 had to slam on the brakes. I had to slam on the brakes. Even though we had good following distance, I nearly collided in the back of 121 because of it. And yeah, I could smell my brakes burning. So after I got everybody off the high school, which was about 30 seconds after that, I pulled over and kind of let the brakes cool off and opened the hood and looked at them and whatnot. And they were okay, but it was definitely a scary incident because like I had the brake pedal on the floor. And I'm not swerving because rolling this thing over would be much worse than a fender bender. But I had that moment where I was like, I think I'm about to go crash in the back of 121. So thank you 211 for putting us in that situation. I think. That was after she cut me off trying to get on the interstate and then overtook 121 because she was behind 121, which we're also not supposed to do. I'm not sure what goes through her head, but yeah. So let's put this over here and actually get some warmth going in here. And log into this thing. Oh, yes. Yes, I'm driving me. There we go. All right. Yeah, 171 is a little less eager to crank up, and once the temperature starts to drop, I have figured this out. She'll still do it, but a bit reluctantly. Okay, just fast idle on your own then, I guess. Gracious. I'll put the switch on anyway, because type A things. And I've got condensation everywhere in here because I left the window open because I'm apparently not the brightest knife in the shed. Condensation rhymes with, I don't know. What the heck is that sound? All right, let's go outside. Strobe can go on, those, and that. I can't turn the heaters on yet because the engine is still cold, so they're not gonna do a whole lot of good. Actually, I'll throw the mirror heat on because that's electric. Excuse me, I think I just choked a demon out of my lung. All right, let's go out here and check all my bright, shiny blinky blinks and my big, round, chunky things. Sometimes the words that come out of my mouth, I'm like, what? All right, back end looks good. Yeah, you'll notice there's quite a lot of spare buses over there. I'm not sure what happened, but suddenly a lot less people needed spares. We had a day the other day where, I kid you not, the shop was empty, the sick bay was empty, all the spares were here, or like 90% of the spares were here, and most of the mainline buses were on the road. And I was like, I've never actually seen that. That's cool. All right, doors good, plate lights are good. Come around here. All of these look nice and dandy. Check my big round donuts of death. And around the front. Gate. Okay. So we'll come back in here. I had somebody yesterday during the heavy braking incident caused them to spill their drink back there. Thankfully, by the time I got in that afternoon, it was water, so it evaporated when the bus got hot. didn't leave any sticky spots. Okay. Wow, that's nice to see out of. Can you not? No, it's not that. Can I mirror heat? Not quite as strong as it normally is. Gotta wipe that off. Okay, and that's why I keep a rag right here. Okay, let's make a couple last minute preparations. All right, it is time for us to hit the road. Engine temperature is very slowly coming up. So I'll plug that in like so and attempt again to clear the windshield. Maybe if I put that there and do some air blowing. I've got my hat so that I can put it on after I take the GoPro off, because as you can see, well, maybe you can, my hair looks all hanky-jank. Sinuses. Alright, let's get out of here. Everybody says they hate the time change, but I actually like it because if we were to stay on standard time in the summer, that would mean that the sun would go down sooner in the evening, which would be a blessing because summers down here are hot. It's awful. But the other side of that is right now I do not want my brights. Right now I get to drive most of my route, my morning route I mean, in daylight. I mean, as you can see, it's 6:30 right now and it's bright enough for me to do a bus vlog, sort of. And it will only get brighter from here. And we're back at it with the squeaking seat. Squeaking seat. And I can't see squat in front of me. Come on, windshield, clear up. Water, we'll try water. How about that? Possibly, potentially, perchance, perhaps. No, maybe not. Okay. Of course it's going to clean down there. It's not going to clean the streaky bit right here. I don't think, oh hello. I don't think I've ever met a bus wiper that actually sprayed the entire windshield. That'll work for now though. Blinky blink, let's get a move on. Blinky blink, gotta go places. Blinky blink, why are you still driving with your lights on? Thank you. Engine temp is approaching 150. So yeah, I wrecked 2 of my watches and had another driver nearly wreck me. What else has happened? I assigned a few seats to some of the bad kids, and those bad kids are still pushing my buttons, etc. I can't tell you how many times I have to say sit down and act civilized. Acting civilized, I guess, is too much to ask of them. But people ask me, in person, not really on YouTube, but people ask me in person, they're like, well, you know, have you ever thought about giving this route up and going to find something different? And I'm like, well, I don't want to do that because of my good kids. I want to stay around for my good kids. You know, it's just that very small handful of bad kids that make life miserable for the rest of us. But I want to stay. You have no lights on, buddy. Jeez. Yeah, I want to stay around for the good kids, so I'm like, yeah, no, I just kind of deal with the bad ones. But, you know, then there's the thing of, even if I went somewhere else, I'm like, what if it's worse? You know, what if this route is as good as they get and I need to hold on to it? Okay, I heard voices, but I thought my radio was down. That's why I was checking it. There's a railway. There's a railway that passes through the middle of my route. It's not the one up here that I'm about to go over. It's a different one. But that railway further up, they closed the crossing to work on it. So a bunch of the buses that are just north of me have been having issues with their route. And it's kind of making me wonder in the back of my mind whether they're gonna do that to my crossing at some point. Because if they do, that's gonna create a monumental headache for me. And possibly a couple other buses, but mainly me, because my route sits right there. So I would have to basically, in order to get around it, I would have to cut my route in half and do the first half of the morning route backwards, and then take a different road to get to the other half and do that one as normal. And then in the afternoon, I would have to do the first half normal and the second half backwards because it's reversed. But there's not really a good way to get to one end of the other side without going like 5 miles out of my way. And railway. And there's not good places to turn around if I come from the front side. So it's like, I started thinking about it last night and I was like, I really hope I never actually have to encounter that situation. Here's hoping. I like how as soon as I open the door one time and suddenly all the condensation clears off the windows. What the heck? So you may also notice, I don't know if you can read the dash or not, I have rolled 171 over 80,000 miles, which is still a far cry younger than 99. But yeah, I saw that bus yesterday. 99, here's the thing, right? 99 likes to play peekaboo. She won't get close enough for me to drive her, but she'll just sprinkle my day with little sightings of her, which I think is kind of funny. Because the other buses, like 1201, 1202, I was driving behind 1202 yesterday. 98, 95, like I see them all the time. I walk around right next to them. 99, I can count on, I think, one hand how many times I've gotten close enough to 99 to just like pat the nose or the bumper or something as I walk by. It's just the nature. Holy moon! Whoa, 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 whoa. Look at the moon. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Wait till I get, am I running late? I'm running slightly late. I don't even care. Look as I come around this turn at the moon. Ah, bloody trees. This should set me up perfectly. Come around this road. Come around this, there it is, there it is. Look at it, look at it. Holy moly, it's massive. And it's orange. That's fairly normal, but it's massive. It's absolutely massive. Oh, I love seeing stuff like that. It's huge. I wish I could sit on top of that building right now and look at it, but I can't. And it's gonna be a lot less overwhelming by the time I actually get off this bus and can stand somewhere and look at it. Part of my route further down this way though goes straight that way for a decent distance, so maybe I'll get a good look at it. Anyways, just glad to be driving my route in daylight. So I'm about to start picking up kids. I will catch you in a second. Okay, I'm back. You join me having just dropped off all my high schoolers. And the back end of the bus shaking itself to death. But I am headed back to the yard with the sun directly in my face. As far as the very vibrant, big, massive moon goes, I did not get to see it later in the route because literally about the time I turned the GoPro off, fog came out of nowhere and persisted for most of the morning until I got to the middle school, and then finally kind of went away. Downside to that is the fog I was hoping was going to block the sun, so I wasn't driving straight into it on the way back to the yards. Yeah, it turns out, false hope. False hope. Now that state trooper sits in the school zone back there, and he just pulled out, which makes me wonder if there's somebody he's looking for. And I guess not. Made a U-turn. Okay. So let's go ahead and grab the left lane while I can. I did not get killed by 211 this morning, thankfully. But I was keeping an eye out for it, just in case she tried to do something silly. I'll reset this clicker and turn it off, and then I can reset that count to 0. Had about 30 high schoolers on for the shuttle, which is a little bit on the low side actually. I've had as few as 11 and as many as 48. So it varies. It varies by the day. That 11 was during one of those like Christmas half days though last year. It wasn't just a normal day. I don't like the fact that I'm driving to the east because I'm gonna have the sun in my face forever. If you're wondering why I'm leaning sideways, it's because I'm trying to use this post. Who the heck was honking? I don't know if the camera picked that up, but I heard it. We'll make a left at the Pizza Hut, which is, you know, takeout only. as most of them are. Dude, that is really, I think, that is the problem with society. People say the world's gone downhill. It has, and that's why. We no longer have the Pizza Hut where you can walk in and sit down and there's a salad bar, and then they bring you those oval plates with the stripes that go around the edge, and the red and brown booths, and the checkerboard tables, and the Mountain Dew that somehow tasted better than any other Mountain Dew ever, and the big pizzas they bring out on this steaming pan that if you even got your hand too close to it, you didn't even have to touch it. Just if you got your hand too close to it, it was like holding a bomb. You know, that melted cheese, you know, those fresh pan pizzas, you take one bite and burn the top of your mouth. But it was the best thing ever to do on like a Thursday night or Tuesday, or whenever the kids eat free thing was. And you didn't really realize that the world was losing it until it was gone. Bring back the sit-down Pizza Huts, please. I'm begging you, on behalf of everybody who's still sane in this world, please bring them back. And the Chick-fil-A's that have the kids' playgrounds where the kids can go and experience the playground. That I think that died after COVID. So there's kids growing up now that won't get to experience that. Or whatever the McDonald's version of it was, the playgrounds in the restaurant. There's actually the McDonald's down here by the bus yard. I go there a lot, and I ordered on my app one time, and I forgot to set it to drive-through. I had accidentally set it to walk in, but I was like, okay, that's fine. So I park and I walk inside, and the dining room, like the dining room's there, and then it just has this glass wall of like the frosted glass that you can't see through that was cutting off one part of the building. And I was like, what the heck is this? So I walked over to the door, which was locked, but the door had a clear spot on the glass that I could kind of peek through, and I could see it was where the playground used to be. They had just blocked it off. I don't know why I'm yawning so much, gracious. So yeah, we need to bring that back for the kids. And roller rinks. Can we bring back roller rinks? I'm not even, like, I don't even know where to find one where you could turn up with a $10 bill in your pocket and just roll around with your friends under the like lighting while everybody was vibing on a Friday night or Saturday night, whatever, and have some like really cheapskate pizza that they serve there, but you didn't care because it was good to you. Or the bowling alleys with like the carpet that had like neon swirls and stuff on it, and the really weird smelling shoes that they never fit quite right, but you'd wear them anyway. And then you had to go find a ball that you could fit your fingers into, because if you were like me, you had to get the ones with the larger holes to be able to get my fingers in it. But the problem with that is they always came with heavier balls. Well, as a young kid, I wasn't strong enough for the heavier balls, so it was like this weird, you know. I need to go bowling. That is what has now crossed my mind. Here's the McDonald's that I was talking about right there. That front section is where the playground was. Okay, it's steady when people turn left right there. Oh my gosh, the sun is in my face. Saul, Saul, why do you persecute me? If you've read your Bible, maybe you'll understand that joke. Let's see if we can go, maybe I can go this way and use the mirror up here to kind of block it. Block the sunlight, and instead you get to see my terrible hair. Of course, I turn the camera off for half a second and immediately get a car cutting me off. That would have made a nice addition to the video. That would be my luck. I have been going on a field trip frenzy lately. I haven't really recorded them for the same reason I haven't recorded anything else. But I took an elementary school group to a farm. I then took them to a different farm on a different day. And then I took the swim team at the high school to a place about 2 hours away in the middle of bumheck nowhere. I mean, literally, in the most literal sense I can describe it, it was the middle of nowhere. Thankfully, you know, on field trips you get paid for the entire duration of the day, even if you're not driving. So like, you drive there and you sit and then you drive back. Well, that middle bit where you're sitting, I mean, you're still getting paid for that, which is nice. But there was a Hardee's in walking distance of the place, and it was about 40 degrees Fahrenheit outside. So I got there and parked the bus at the bus parking, and then I was like, screw it, I want breakfast. So I walked to the Hardee's and then walked back and laid down in the bus seat and took a nap, which I could do because it was cold outside and I didn't have to run the air condition. I definitely would not have tried that if it was hot. But yeah, then I drove back. At the 2 hour, I mean, 2 hours is not that long, but it felt long because it was not on the interstate. It was on sort of more backcountry highways going overland, so that kind of added to the illusion of making it feel like it was a long time. But yeah, I didn't record much of anything from those field trips. I've got old field trips that were recorded that are sitting on my hard drive that are old as crap, and I never got around to actually making anything out of them. So maybe at some point I'll do that, but until then, this will be today's bus vlog. Clock out. Oh yeah, I completely forgot to show you the obvious. On one of these field trips, I got a phone holder for the windshield and a charger. So the excess of the charger is underneath that, and I did it that way so in an emergency I can yank this out, just go boop, and then slide that straight up and still get to it. But yeah, I was tired of trying to put directions in ways, and the only other place I could really do it was either I duct tape the back of my phone and stick it to the tablet screen, which is not ideal because the duct tape I have is crap, or I try to set it in this cup holder, and then it's kind of hard to look at, and because it's down there you can't hear the audio call outs. It was not pleasant. So I ended up getting this for like $8 at Walmart, and it's been working dandily. So I just realized the rear heater's still on. Oops, I meant to shut that off after the kids got out. All right, I'll go ahead and set all this for the afternoon, because this afternoon it's gonna be toasty again. Such is the bipolar weather we deal with in Georgia this time of year. People up in the northern end of the country are getting blizzards and crap, and we're down here playing chicken with the weather. It's either hot or it's cold, usually in the same day, usually only a couple hours apart. All right, go to bed. Sand, sand everywhere. Lots of sands. Lots of sands. I'll probably sweep out tonight or tomorrow morning maybe. There's not really any food trash much other than this and my glasses that just hit the dirty floor. So I'll have to, I freaking hate these things. But I gotta be able to see. So where was that other one at? There it is. Other than that, it's not really any food trash, which is good. It's just mainly sand. So I can deal with some sand. I'll sweep it out probably this afternoon. I may do it this afternoon before the kids get on, because I don't really get sand in here in the afternoon. It's only in the morning, because everybody's walking through their yard or through their driveway or all that crap. Let me see. This thing kept trying to tip over this way, and I've had one of them spill open before, and I really don't want that to happen. So let me see if I can maybe kind of wedge it right there. That'll work. Stop moving. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna get 171 checked. My next service, I've been through a service since I last recorded. My next one is November 14th. I'm definitely gonna have a coolant leak looked at, and I cannot for the life of me figure out where it's coming from. And it's very subtle. It only, you know, I have to kind of top it off every week and a half. So it's not drastic, but it's enough to make me notice it. I mean, to the point that when I went on field trips, I made sure I had an extra jug of the stuff in here just in case. So yeah, when I checked it, as you saw earlier this morning, it was getting a little low, so I'll probably fill it back up this afternoon. Bus needs a bath, as always. Holy crap, Bus really does need a bath. Look at that, I just wiped that off with my foot. Good gracious alive. I swear, it's not easy keeping these things clean. Well, I say that, it's not inherently difficult, it's just time consuming. But yeah, that is a bus vlog for today. Here's the new front tires. I don't know if I actually have shown you these since the last video, but yeah, nice deep treads, fresh painted rim that has no weights on it. That's interesting. I wonder if the other side does. They come pre-mounted and pre-balanced on the rims, so they should already have weights on them. And they don't. Huh. Well, that's weird, because if you walk back here, yeah, see there? This one's already got a weight on it. It came with it. Huh. Well, maybe those tires were so perfection that they didn't need weights. I highly doubt that, but we'll go with that happy train of thought. What was that? Lol. The rubber window seal is coming out. Huh. Okay. First time I've noticed that. There's a couple first gens. But yeah, I don't think I've ever seen this many spare buses here at once, just during an average weekday. Which the sick bay's fill. Oh God, the sick bay's filling up too. Okay, so a bunch of those spares are about to be on the road. But yeah, the other day it was so weird. I came in here and the shop was totally empty. The sick bay was totally empty. Every mainline bus was fine. And like almost all the spares were here, not being used. It was like that once a school year optimal day that you're never going to see again for the next 5 years. So yeah, I definitely remember that. 75. I haven't looked at a first gen in a hot minute. Water bottle. Little trash bag right there. Yeah. I'm 5'11" and I'm just about hitting my head on this thing. Why on earth did we request the short roof version of these things? I don't know. Good God, it's got that smell. I don't know how to describe it. I don't know what it is, but you know what it is if you've been on an older 3800 or older CE. You know what this smell is. Gosh, I haven't driven one of these in a while either. I've driven, which one is this? 75? I drove 75 one time because I was ferrying it empty to the north yard because somebody was going to need it. That was the only time. I swear the control layout in this one looks different than some of the others. Or maybe I'm just tripping. I don't know. But yeah. It's always cracked me up about these things, how when the bus is shut off, the instrument panel, all the needles just go to random spots. Like, what are they? Apparently, according to this, I'm doing 19 miles an hour while being sat still. The engine's currently running at 1,000 RPM, just a little over. Engine temperature's reading about normal, even though this bus hasn't moved in about a week. Oil pressure is a little bit on the low side, you know. Fuel is less than empty. Fuel is less than empty. That's... I didn't know you could mathematically even do that. I didn't know that was possible. But yeah. Battery voltage is fine. The air tanks are empty. So if you were to take this panel in the literal sense, we have less than no fuel, no air, and somehow we're going 20 miles an hour. That's not worrying at all. What is this? Coal. Somebody left a Stanley in here. Well, I don't want it. I don't even know whose it is. I'm not gonna mess with it. But yeah, these two, I'm not sure why these two are on the back fence, but they've both been over here for a week or two. I don't know if they're about to go to a school to be athletic buses or what. 78, 75. I think this is the bus that I found that torn up tire on one time. Obviously not this tire, that's a different, completely new one. Not new, but it's not that one that was torn up. Was it 78 or 77? I can't remember which bus it was. It might have been that one. I need to go watch that video back, probably. But yeah, both of the white top twins are here. There's one there and one down there. I don't know if 0909 is here. I think 0909 was subbing on the south side of the county. There's 23, 59, 34, 21. I don't see it. There's 89 and 35. I don't see it. I don't think 09's here. I don't think 99 is either. 99 hasn't been here in about 4 days, I think. 4 days, 5 days, something like that. But anyway, that's all I have for this bus vlog. That's all I got. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Feel free to stick around in the comments section. I'll catch you guys in the next one.